Dried out moss, no water.
It's not looking good for the waterfall. Is it still a little wet up in there?
Yeah, there's a puddle.
That's too bad.
Not in the mood to get bit out here. So. A few months ago when we first got the Toyota Tacoma, we took it out to a local waterfall. It was the end of the summer after consecutive years of some of the worst droughts in recorded history out here. And we didn't think we would find any water. We thought it'd be a long shot, and sure enough, it was bone dry. Well, this winter, we had one of the record snowfalls all over the state of Utah. And so everything is just wet. And so now we are at the end of spring of this record snowfall, and we're gonna try to find that waterfall again and see how much water is there, because there's definitely gonna be water. We wasted no time getting off the pavement, shifting into four-wheel drive, and beginning our adventure. We actually ran into spring runoff a bit earlier than expected. This was a good sign. Once we got deeper into the canyon, we shifted into 4-low to maintain speed control. The canyon was beautiful. The waning snow-capped mountains on the horizon dropped into the valleys below, blossoming into a deep green as the area awoke from the wet winter slumber.
See that water, Jack?
Oh, look, there was water in the road. After one particular crossing, we met a Chevy Silverado that was parked as the trail got narrower. We decided to park behind it and scout ahead, grabbing our gear and setting our watches in case this was the end of the motorized portion of our quest. Why, is it pretty bad up there?
No, so it goes deeper down, and there's like a rock right here, and there's like a big pit right here. So there's the roots right here, a rock right here, a hole right here, and there's just trees right here. So if you want to go, and then you drop down, and then the bottom of your car gets hit by that rock.
Okay, well, we'll go give it a shot, see what it looks like.
That's a big rock, so you come here, and then it drops down, and that drops in. So go down, and then you go bam.
I think we might have tried it in the LX, but I don't want to do that in the Taco. That guy had fun right there. So yeah, you can see the road's rutted by all the water. We got water coming down the road. We're actually 2.5 miles from the waterfall. So we'll see if we can make it, and should be fun. I was quite proud of my 10-year-old for thinking like a spotter. He was correct. The rock was going to be a problem for the Tacoma. Going straight, I'd most likely bash my pretty TRD Pro skid plate all over it. Going high, and I was going to pinstripe my gray metallic paint. The only recovery gear I had was a shovel. The Tacoma was too new to send it, so we would hike it. Hiking wasn't going to be easy either. We were 2.5 miles from the waterfall as the crow flies. The weather was barely pushing mid-50s in the sun. We didn't have any spare clothes or snacks as we were planning on a short 1-mile round-trip hike. We would be 5 times that now, and who knows what the water would do to the upcoming terrain.
You do not want to feel how cold this water is. Just a tiny bit of water.
So this may be another fail like the last video, but for the opposite reason. So the Silverado that we parked behind, we met the owners of that coming down. They said they managed 2 more river crossings and then the water was too deep for them to cross. So we'll see if we can find a way across, or maybe we'll be turning around also. And Jack, it looks like that is the first crossing. Good heck. Should we go up here?
That's what I said.
Okay. We are still going up. Our group is voting 3-1 to keep going on this road, since we are higher. So we can hear the river off to the right.
Never know.
We've gone a 1/2 mile of the 2.5. That's good. End of April, we still got snow. I think we're just over 6,000 feet in height. Usually, especially lately, the snow's been gone long before then. Let's check our altitude. Yep, 6,500 feet. Gone up 138 feet already. I'm breathing like I climbed 400. I'm out of shape. Is that the end of the line, Jack? So that irrigation road that we followed now just dropped off gently onto the trail, and it looks really nice now, so we'll follow it and see how far we get. We were rather hopeful that the irrigation pipe trail Jack discovered bypassed over the 3 major crossings the hikers warned us about. So far, any crossing we did have to make was rather trivial. Decisions.
Yes, which way do I want to get my foot all wet?
So in our area, it is a wild turkey hunt, and there are the tracks. So there's some turkeys out here. Turkeys and a ton of deer. I don't show the deer track. They're everywhere. Almost there. There we go. Creek's right here. We'll go around. When you reach the parking area, there's a green cattle fence, and you cross the creek. At the time it was dry, now it's roaring. So what we're hoping is by taking this irrigation access road, we can stay on the west side of the creek and hit the waterfall without any more water crossings. We've gone 1 mile, we have 1.5 miles to go. Oh, it's a bog. Throw a rock in it, Jack.
What is it?
It's a bog.
What's a bog?
This. I don't know if they made it this far. Haha. Yeah, rather than get to where they finally said no. Yep, back on the road again. So that detour made it. We have now gone 1.14 miles of 2.5. The water crossings became more frequent and more deep. If only the temperatures were warmer, we could have easily hiked up our pants and waded across. However, with the bitter breeze and current temperatures, none of us dared to get our feet wet. This meant some rather interesting water crossings.
Use your hands.
As we got closer to the waterfall, the canyon narrowed. Not only did we have to deal with water everywhere, but we also had to deal with snow, sometimes deep enough that getting under your socks was inevitable.
I don't know about this.
You'll make it.
I think I've about hit my limit for snow.
The morale of our troop was dropping rather rapidly, and we were still 1/2 mile away from the trailhead parking lot.
Jack. Come up with Mom. Not right there.
By late afternoon, the wind had kicked up. Fortunately, the mountains blocked most of its chilling effects, but the white clouds flying in from the north and piling up darkly in the south were not helping morale at all. Finally, we hit the parking lot and stopped briefly to regain our energy and composure. Only 1 more mile to go.
No e-bikes. That's a new one for me. Just like the expeditions of old, we got to the parking lot and about had a mutiny. Kids were expecting a nice relaxing weekend after a week of testing at school, and they had about had it with wet feet, miserable crossings, and didn't want to press forward, but I think we convinced them. We are on the trail actually now. So hopefully, I think we have 1 more water crossing.
Fate would not smile upon us. The creek narrowed and sped up while the slope on our side steepened.
Austin, we're gonna go back. Now they won't.
No amount of rock stacking was going to create a crossing. We'd have to cross through the freezing water or turn back.
Storm clouds rolling in, and we had to turn back 3/4 of a mile from the waterfall. So now we have a mutiny because we don't want to quit when we had one earlier. It's really kind of frustrating. It's fun because I've been up here quite a few times. There's never been water like this, and so that's been really cool to see, but how we were so close. If we'd have been prepared, I just thought we'd have water on the waterfall. We'd have had water shoes and a bag with some dry clothes and we could have just walked across the river, but we don't. And I'm sure you guys are going to want to go back, right? You guys are going to want to just take our water shoes and go back next week?
That sounds cold.
So, I don't know. Let's go to the page with the compass. There you go. 0.68 miles away. So close. Valiant effort. There's another crossing over here.
Oh, you're cheating. Okay, not time for music. Ouch. Ooh. Ooh. Cheated again.
Hey, it looks good with the wheels like that. We made it. Means we can get home and get some food.